Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of Paranormal the Normal presents Paranormal Primetime. We have and now I say we, I mean Malachi and myself have a very, very, very good two episodes for you tonight as we headed into season 4 finally when Supernatural got good.
The
And,
good episodes. And I'm
and,
going to cut you off real quick, Jeremy. My headphones just said battery low, so you keep them talking, and I will switch that out real quick.
keep who talking? Keep myself talking? All right.
Keep yourself talking. I'll be right back.
Well, while we wait for Malachi to come back, I will say tonight's a very special night because the episode Malachi is about to talk about tonight is actually its 17-year anniversary. So it's been exactly 17 years since this first episode we're going to talk about premiered. And as you're about to find out, it is a huge episode as Malachi's headphones make weird noises as he walks further away. But Malachi. And season 4, so only like 12 seasons to go. But we're getting there. Slowly but surely we'll get there. Maybe by 2027 we'll be done. And he's back.
You probably had some echo.
We heard a lot of noises, but did you hear what I said or no?
Hold on, it's not
connecting. Waiting. I feel like I should have that. I feel like I should have that ELO song playing right now. Like,
oh.
But did you hear what I said earlier or no?
Hold up. I'm going to have to go through the settings. This was super. Okay, settings, audio, default. Okay, talk.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Again?
Can you hear me now?
There we go. Okay, we're good to go.
So, did you hear what I said earlier?
Professional.
Did you hear what I said? Yes, we are such professionals. But did you hear what I said when you were walking away or no?
No, I didn't. I'm in a steel cage.
Your episode tonight is actually tonight's the 17th anniversary of your episode.
The 17th anniversary.
Yep, your episode.
Season 4, episode 1.
Yep.
I guess that's
September 18th. As they so cleverly point out in the episode.
That doesn't happen very often, I guess. Huh? Like we're doing.
I doubt we're going to hit it more than once or twice. So.
Okay, cool.
But folks, that's also not the only reason tonight's special. It's Malachi's birthday.
Fucking last birthday ever.
If I ask, well, let's not go that far. But
well, I'll be 40 next one, so that's not happening. We're just gonna forget about them all.
Well, you turn 39 like 10 times first, you know, and then
I'm just gonna reset all my socials to like. I turned 18 last week.
Just turn it. Yeah, there you go. The government won't think you're trying to catfish 18-year-olds for any reason, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay, 26. That'll give me some years.
Yeah.
I'll have new socials by then anyway, right? You get banned frequently.
But let's get into this, folks, and let Malachi start with his episode since it's his birthday and all that good stuff.
And because I always do the first episode.
I'm trying to make myself look good. Shout out.
You were trying to do a nice thing. I gotcha. Okay, let's jump into it. We got Supernatural Season 4, Episode 1. Lazarus Rising. Dun dun dun. Written by Eric Kripke and directed by Kim Manners. So you know this was an important episode. Like you know it's going to be a banger. These are OG writer-directors. I'm going to try to paint a picture for you guys tonight.
Oh, boy.
Blackness. Flash of hell. Flash of hell. Blackness. flash of hell. And then Dean wakes up in the total darkness, lights a Zippo, and realizes he is in a pine fucking box. So we watch from the top as Dean digs out of a casket, which 6 feet deep, my friend. I hope they never get into it, but I hope Sam like buried that shit 6 inches under. There is no way you're digging yourself out of a casket 6 feet deep. That dirt is going to fill that casket. You are fucked. But
Well,
Dean manages to do so.
it started to. He did the right way. You have to keep your shoulders moving to keep going up.
I was a pipe player, and I've been buried a couple times. I've had tunnels collapse. Sorry to say, that is not possible, my friend.
Well,
Not possible.
you heard it here first, folks. Malachi was buried under some pipe in the past.
I was buried 3 times, yeah, like a whole fucking cliff pinned you up against, and everybody's got to dig you out. Like, shit is not good, son.
Those were his San Diego days, folks.
San Diego? What kind of liberal are you trying to make me out to be?
Oh, you're the one getting you're the one getting buried by pipe.
Okay, so he digs his way out of the casket, and he stands up and he looks around, and it looks like the Tunguska shit happened like right where his casket is. All of the trees are splayed in a perfect circle for like a while around his casket. Like whatever the fuck took him out, it was like a nuclear blast and knocked everything down. So he does what he needs to do, and he starts walking, and he finds a gas station that is, in good condition. This isn't like a Hills Have Eyes abandoned in the 1950s. This is like a normal gas station, and it's totally empty. So the first thing we see him immediately drink water. When he was in the casket, he's trying to call for help, and we've got the help. Like he's dehydrated as fuck, just came back alive. So he finds a hand. Oh, okay, so he's checking himself out, looking for the hellhound. This is the last time we saw Dean, and his entire chest was ripped apart from the hellhounds. And when he's lifting his shirt up, took it off, he notices there's like a handprint on his arm, like burnt in there. Which there is something at the end of the episode we can talk about, and I think that goes away, right?
I forget. It does eventually, obviously, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't have 14 seasons later, but I mean, it's still.
Yeah, we'll see Dean with his shirt off again.
For all the ladies out there, on Team Jensen,
and all my fellow San Diegoans.
No, they're all on Team Jared because he's more sensitive.
Okay. So I mean, he's in this empty like fucking Bucky's gas station with all this shit. He's collecting food. Got his little home bum shopping bag with all his supplies. Reaches the cash register and he's like, "Don't mind if I do." Takes all the money out of there, and then he sees busty Asian beauties. Has to take one of them too. But as he's leaving the gas station, the TV like turns on and you get this weird staticky noise with a high pitch, and then shit starts exploding, and he ends up leaving, but ready for a demon attack at that point. Then he finds a payphone, which some of you watching might not know what that is. We used to have telephones all over the place, and you would put a quarter. If you don't know what a quarter is, look it up, and you'd get to call people. So he calls Sam a couple times, I think, and the phone number is disconnected. And then he calls Bobby, and Bobby immediately, hello, "Hey, this is Dean," and he hangs up the phone. Dean calls again, and Bobby's immediately like, "Who the hell is this?" "It's Dean," and he hangs up the phone. So we get to Dean hotwiring like a minivan or whatever the fuck kind of bullshit car he's got. He drives to Bobby's house, and this is a great episode for anybody to watch. Like I think this would be a fun first episode to watch. But
Well,
he not
you kind of got to watch season before to know what the fuck's going on.
it's just a fun episode though. He
Yeah.
knocks on Bobby's door, and Bobby thinks it's a fucking shapeshifter or a reverend. So he just starts attacking him. "No, Bobby, it's me." Okay. Starts attacking him again. "No," and then Dean steals the knife. It's a silver knife because he thinks it's a shapeshifter or a reverend, and he cuts his arm. And like, "Could a shapeshifter do this, Bobby?" And then Bobby's like, "Dean, I love you." Gay meter of like 0.5 at this point. 0.5. But then they hug, and as soon as they are done with their embrace, Bobby throws fucking holy water in his face and says, "You can't be too careful." So, they go into it. Bobby's got liquor bottles all over, and like it's been a hard 4 months or whatever. I forgot to mention Dean picked up a newspaper and he realized that he's been dead for 4 months.
Because the
So he
newspaper
asked,
says September 18th.
"Oh, that's where it was? I should
Yep.
take a screenshot of that shit." So I don't think Vudu doesn't let you take screenshots. I don't know if Netflix does.
I mean,
But
I don't watch it on my phone, so I couldn't tell you. But
yeah, I'm watching it all on my phone. Dean asks, "Where the fuck's Sammy boy out?" And he finds out that like right after Dean died, he just like fucking disappeared on his own adventure. And then he asks, like, "Why didn't I get a funeral's burial? Why was I buried in a box? Why didn't you guys burn me?" And Bobby says, Dean or Sam wouldn't allow it, and he needed some way to rip your soul out and bring you back into a body of some sort. So that's why Dean wasn't burned. And what do we got? So this is where Dean calls the telephone company and tracks Sam's phone to Pontiac, Illinois, which is like right where Dean was buried.
And what name did they use for Sam's phone?
I did Ellis something or other.
Wedge Antilles. It's a
Wedge
Star Wars.
Antilles.
It's a Star Wars reference.
That's probably why I didn't write it down. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but they got his phone pinned, and Bobby and Dean show up to this hotel room, and there's this girl that we'll find out about later that answers the phone and wondering like, why the hell does it take two pizza boys to deliver the pizza we've been waiting for? Then Sam shows up behind this girl, and we go through the same shit with Bobby and Dean. Like Sam's attacking Dean, and Bobby's like, "No. I've been through this. It's the real Dean." And then we get to, I would say, a gay meter of 3 with Sam and Dean hugging. And even the girl thinks so. Because she's like, "Are you guys like together or something?" And Sam says, "No, this is my brother. Maybe you should leave." And he gets her name wrong. Very good touch. Very good touch if you're watching this for the first time. And Dean asks, "What did it cost?" Because they think that Sam traded his soul to bring Dean back. That's why why they. I mean, that's Bobby and Dean's like what they thought. How the fuck Dean came back, and so Dean asks, "What did it cost?" And Sam says, "I don't have to pay, Dean," which I thought was a pretty. I mean, that was pretty funny. And
Yeah,
then
they had a lot of good one-liners in this episode.
a lot of good one-liners in this episode. And this is where Sam's like breaks down. We got a gay meter of like 1.5 to 2.5 through this whole conversation, but like I tried everything, Dean. I'm so sorry. I talked all or captured all the demons. Nobody would deal. I didn't break you out. I'm sorry. And Dean's like, you don't have to say sorry, Sammy boy. And I can see where they get like the erotica books that they make later on off these storylines. So then they're all asking, well, like, who the fuck did break you out then? Like they're all thinking like another demon, sort of like Sam's got his demon thing going, raised by a demon. Maybe another demon fucking resurrected Sam or Dean. And they asked Sam, like, well, then why the hell are you right next to where I'm buried? And he says, well, I've been tracking these three demons, and they're in this town. He's trying to, like, fucking give some payback to Lilith. And Bobby says he knows a psychic, so maybe she can find out why the hell Dean got pulled out. So this is when we get into some more gay meters. Sam gives Dean his necklace back. They make out for a little bit. It was, you know, supernatural erotica. And Sam asks Dean what hell's like. And we can kind of tell that Dean's lying. He says he doesn't remember anything. He told Bobby the same thing. But we do see Dean having these flashbacks of hell. So we know that Dean's lying. And okay, so Sam or Dean asks, like, what happened during the Hellhound night? Like, how the hell did he die and Sam didn't? And that's when they relive that whole thing. Like, Dean got ripped apart by the Hellhound, and Lilith, Jeremy's episode last week, tried to give him the X-Men whiteout light, and she couldn't, and fucking smoked out of there. So we relived through that. And Sam asks, like, or Dean asks Sam, are you still doing all your freaky ESP shit? And Sam says no. So they get to
No,
this.
no, he didn't say no. He says no. I promised you I wouldn't do that, so I didn't do it.
Okay, that is better for the erotica books that we'll get through later. That's like pretty spot on to how it went. I mean, it sounded exactly like Sam, to be honest with you. So they all arrive at this psychic lady Pamela's house, and she's like immediately hitting on Dean and like, hey, we can talk about it later. And Sam says something, I'm like, we can both talk about it later. And Dean's like, you're not invited. But he thinks he's going to get some 50-year-old psychic lady butt. And so they're sitting down. She makes contact with this entity named Castiel, who we'll probably never hear about ever again in the future, who tells her to like turn back, stop trying to look at me, you dirty psychic bitch. And she starts screaming, hits the floor. Everybody goes to her rescue, and her eyes are just like burned out of her fucking head. And that's the end of that scene. So then we cut to Sam and Dean at a diner talking to Bobby, and he says that she's finally out of the ICU and she doesn't have eyeballs anymore, but she'll be fine. She's a psychic. She didn't need that shit. So this is where Dean's trying to talk Sam into summoning this Castiel figure and just kill him. And Sam's like, Are you fucking dumb? Did you see what he did to that lady? Like, we don't even know what we're dealing with. Why don't we track down these demons I'm hunting, and then we can force them to tell us what they know? And this is when the waitress sits with Sam and Dean's like, hey, were you guys looking for us? And she flashes her eyes black, and she gets into like, hey, I'm going to kill you both. Dean, I'm going to rip your lungs out and drag you back to hell with me, and blah, 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 blah. And this is where Dean bluffs. And he's like, this might work. I think you guys are more afraid of the thing that brought me back than I should be of you. And he smacks this lady waitress, who is a real person in there. But he smacks this bitch. And then
3
she
times.
comes back and he smacks her again. And smacks her again. Which, I wonder how that would be a great behind the scenes to see. I don't know if they have any of that, but like,
I never seen any blooper reels or anything for it, so I have no idea. They
do
usually
they
show
have those?
on the episodes. They show them, yeah.
Okay, I'm sure like he didn't actually have to hit her and they made it, but like I would feel bad if I just had to smack that lady in the face 3 times. So he bitch slaps her, and then the demons don't do anything to him. So he's like, yeah, I guess that bluff worked. And when they're leaving, he throws a couple dollars on the floor for the pie, which is a pretty pimp move, I might add. So we cut to them sleeping in the motel room. Dean's fast asleep. Sam fucking sneaks out again. Sam is a very sneaky person at this point. He's constantly sneaking out on Dean. But then Dean wakes up and the TV turns on. It's doing all that crazy fuzzy shit that happened in the gas station. And then all of a sudden we hear this like high pitched squealing. Bobby runs in and all the glass shatters. So now Bobby and Dean are on the road. I think Dean knows that. Dean calls Sam and Sam says, I'm just checking out that diner we were at earlier. And Dean tells Sam that he was just hungry and needed a burger at 3 a.m. And I think they both know they're lying to each other at this point.
Oh yeah.
But him and Bobby are going to summon whatever the fuck burned out Pamela's eyeballs. And Bobby's like, well, aren't you going to tell Sam? We need the extra backup. And he's like, Sam will just talk us out of it. Fuck that. So they're going to do their thing, summoning whatever the hell a Castiel is. And then back at the diner, Sam is actually there, and he sees a bunch of these empty demon vessels with their eyes burned out. But the lady that Dean had bitch slapped is that demon's still alive with her eyeballs burning out. And Sam's like trying to question her, what the fuck did this? Who brought my brother back? And all she says is, we're all going to die. And that's when we find out that Sam is still doing his freaky ESP shit and exercises this cunt without even talking.
Which I gotta say is a badass power to have.
That would be, I mean, especially for their line of work. I hope he keeps it forever. Huh? I hope
Yeah,
he
we all
keeps
know.
it forever.
Yeah.
But then that girl that fucking Sam was just having a fling with, that he called the wrong name, we find out that that is New Ruby. And they've been working together. Which I might add, I thought it was funny. I never knew that till last season, but he was dating the original Ruby. He ends up marrying New Ruby in real life.
Yep.
Fun fact out there. So he's questioning Ruby, like, who the hell brought my brother back? She says, I don't know. Like, there's nothing I've ever even heard about that would have the power to do this. And she's like, hey, are you going to tell your brother about what we're doing here before he kills me? And Sam's like, I just got to wait for the right moment, you know? There's a moment for these things. And she's like, make it quick, bitch. So, okay, so we got Bobby and Dean after Sam and Ruby. We got Bobby and Dean at this abandoned barn, and Bobby's drawing every sigil from every religion, from every fucking folk tale you can hear all over the place. And Dean's got every weapon that'll kill whatever the fuck, and they're gearing up. They do the ritual, and then they're just sort of sitting there for a while like it didn't work or something went wrong. And then all of a sudden we see this guy, we'll probably only see this one time, that walks in with a trench coat. And as he's walking in, all the light bulbs, which for a barn, it's a lot of fucking light bulbs, right?
It was a grow barn, you know that.
Yeah. I mean, it had to be like a grow barn from the 1970s. There was like a light bulb every 3 inches that was just exploding as this guy walks in. He walks right through the devil trap, so we know he's not a demon. And then they just start unloading rock salt at this guy, so not a ghost or whatever else would fucking kill that. And this is when this Castiel fellow says, I pulled you out of the flaming gates of hell. And Dean immediately stabs him in the chest with Ruby's knife. Because that's how you say thank you, I guess. And Bobby tries to attack him from behind, and Castiel's like, whoop, and Bobby passed out on the fucking floor. So Cass says, well, no, hold on. Attack. Yeah. So Cass tells him, I'm an angel of the Lord. And Dean's like, no, that's not a real thing. God, angels, that's not a fucking real thing. He's not believing this. And then Cass shows, I thought this was one of the most badass parts of the scene. That's one of the most I remember. But like you see lightning flash or something, but you see Cass's shadow of his wings raise up. Beautiful fucking scene.
Oh, it's a classic.
And oh yeah. You got, if anybody's seen like recaps, you've probably seen it. But he tells Dean that he's been trying to talk to him for a while, but every time he does, like, shit shatters and shit because you can't hear my real angelic voice. And sorry, I burned that girl's eyes out. That and just I'm practicing being a human. And Dean's like, well, but you're possessing someone like a demon, you son of a bitch. And he's like, well, Cass, no. He totally asked for it. Let me tell you, totally asked for it. This guy wanted me. I got an NDA and everything. And then Dean says, why did you save me? And Cass is like, you don't think you deserve to be saved, do you? And then the whole episode ends. A lot of shit in this episode. I cut it way down to my normal notes. Is anybody out there who's like, when's this guy going to shut up? Cass ends the episode with saying, God told me to save you, and we have a lot of work to do. Boop, boop, boop.
Which one?
4.7.
Oh, it's I'll give it a 4.8 for the Star Wars reference.
Ugh, Star Wars.
But you missed one thing. One of the symbols that
Oh, okay.
One of the symbols that Bobby draws when they're trying to trap Castiel is Jacob Karn's talisman from Hookman.
Hookman. Is that like the Twilight Zone legend?
No, Hookman. Hook. Oh, it's a foreshadowing thing for this show.
Okay. I know that like the only error they had is like when Dean shows the handprint to everybody, his big ass cut, because these guys always, right? Like whenever they have to get blood, they got this big ass Rambo knife, and they're like, "Let's go down my entire forearm." Isn't there when he shows them the
Yeah,
handprint?
of course.
I mean, you
And the
could just
cut
like poke yourself.
and the cut from the knife isn't there when after he cuts himself with the knife at Bobby's. When he shows it to Sam, there's no mark of the cut.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah,
Oh well, you were all over the fucking place. But all right, folks,
I am.
it's time to go to the next episode of season 4, and that would be episode 2, which was called "Are You There, God?" It's me, Dean Winchester, and longest
It's
fucking title
me,
ever.
Mario.
And it was written by Sarah Gamble and Lou Ballo, who I think Lou Ballo is a new name. We haven't heard that before.
Yeah, I think that is.
And it's directed by Phil Segretia, which we know that name. So, but we start off the episode and we see a woman sleeping on her couch. We later find out her name is Olivia. She has her TV on, and all of a sudden it starts to flicker, and she wakes up. She realizes it's so cold that she sees her breath. So she jumps up and runs to the closet, in which inside she is a really cool fucking hunter arsenal of all these damn weapons. She grabs she grabs basically she grabs this awesome ass looking gun that it's like a modded pistol. It's freaking awesome. And as she picks it up, her phone's ringing, and her answering machine answers it, saying, "Hi, it's Olivia. Leave a message." And so we find out her name, and we hear Bobby saying, "Olivia, can you call me back? I got something big." She ignores it and picks up the EMF meter out of her closet. It begins going like off like crazy, red lights all the way up. She grabs her awesome gun I talked about earlier, and loads it, and then heads back in the other room. Suddenly, a man appears behind her. She rolls around, looks at him, and just says, "You." She shoots him, and he disappears for a minute, and she grabs a very handy bag of salt that she has nearby and starts filling in the doorway with salt in it. And all of a sudden, and he appears right outside the salt line for a minute, and then she says, "I'm sorry," multiple times to him. "I'm so sorry." And all of a sudden, she turns around and she sees another person, this time a woman. The woman grabs her, thrusts her hand forward, and Olivia screams. We jump over to Bobby's house, and Dean and Sam are arguing over whether Castile could really be an angel from the last episode, when Bobby's research turns up the information that only an angel can rescue someone from hell. Dean doesn't like the idea that God either exists or has a special interest in him, so they all decide to start researching angels. And Dean sends Sam out to get him some pie, of course. And while he's out, Sam runs into Ruby. And she tells Sam that she is nervous about angels being around and that she's going to make herself scarce for a while, and that angels are ruthless warriors who kill demons no matter their allegiance. She tells him that he should be afraid too. And Sam returns without the fucking pie, which pisses me off. Bobby, Sam, you forgot the pie. But
I will say that like we've joked about pie like being a thing, but from
ew,
now on out, pie is like there's gonna be a lot of pie.
mm-hmm. There's gonna be more pie than there is at a supernatural convention.
Yeah.
And that's usually some good looking pie, but after Sam's back, Bobby tells him that they're going to go check on a hunter, a friend of his, Olivia Lowry, who he's been calling about angels, but she's not answering. And they go to her house, and no one answers, so they bust in. They find her dead, ripped apart, seemingly by a spirit. So Bobby and the boys go out and try to check on the other hunters in the area, only to find them all dead. we get a nice little montage of finding dead hunters in their houses. And on the way back to Bobby's, they stop at a gas station. Dean's sleeping in the car. Sam goes to the bathroom. And all of a sudden, we see a familiar face pop into the bathroom behind Sam in the mirror. And it's our good friend, Special Agent Victor Henriksen, who starts to blame Sam and Dean for his death before he starts attacking Sam. During the time, Dean runs into the bathroom and saves Sam by blasting him with rock salt. We go back to the house and we see Bobby being confronted by spirits of two little girls who accuse him of failing to save them from the monster that killed them. They capture him and hold him in a wrecked car in a salvage yard while they torment him. Which, for as badass as Bobby is, he gets taken down by two little girls.
Well, I think he's got the emotional strife of not
Mm.
saving the two little girls, too. That was like probably his worst hunt.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. But and I had a real movie you hate feeling for those two girls because it was very shining.
Yeah.
But Sam and
Walking Dead.
Dean get back and they can't find Bobby, so they split up to try to find him faster. Dean is confronted by another reunion as we see the spirit of Meg Masters, the demon from the first season. She tells him that how she was a college student when she was possessed, and that she was awake during the whole possession, and she witnessed so much of the horror. She beats and kicks the shit out of Dean, and she also tells him how her disappearance made her little sister off herself. And Dean points the gun at her, and she says, "What are you gonna do?" She says, "Shoot me, I'll be right back." And he's like, "I'm not aiming at you." And he shoots the chandelier, which is happened to be made of iron, from the ceiling, falls on her and dispels her. And we see that Sam has found and rescued Bobby after he checks a few cars, and after Bobby's almost suffocated to death by his two little girls. And he leads Sam Dean downstairs into the basement of his house, and he opens this very heavy-looking metal door, and he's like, "Come on, I got a safe room." And Dean's like, "Bobby." He's like, "What?" He's like, "You built a safe room?" He's like, "I had a free week. Yeah, I had a free weekend." And Dean's just like, "Bobby." And Bobby's like, "What?" Dean's like, "You're awesome." Which
If
is a
I had the
classic,
money in the land, hell yeah.
which is an awesome meme that's on Facebook all the time. And it's a huge cylindrical room lined in iron coated in salt to keep spirits from entering. There's a large extraction fan on the roof, which below it is a grill with metalwork in the shape of a devil's trap. The room has a nice little jail cell bed in it, and it's well stocked with all the supplies, weapons, and equipment you would ever need, and a library. And Sam and Dean say that they saw a brand on the hand of these spirits, which Bobby looks up and he identifies them as witnesses whose appearance heralds the coming of the apocalypse. From Revelations, of course. And Bobby finds a spell that will send the spirits to rest, but they need an open fire for it. So they leave the panic room because they have no choice, unfortunately, and they go back to the library. And on their way, our buddy Agent Resnick shows up again, and he charges Sam and Dean with being responsible for his death before Bobby shoots him with salt. They get upstairs to the library.
And I would like to say, fucking Dean's been through hell. So I don't think any of these ghosts are guilt tripping him.
No. Not at all. But they get in the library, and Bobby starts getting the spell ready. He tells Sam to go upstairs and get a hex box, and Dean to go in the kitchen and get ingredients, including opium. And Dean's like, "Opium?" And he's like, "Opium, just get it." But Sam's confronted by Meg again, who's outraged that he's working with Ruby, knowing she's possessing an innocent girl, as Meg herself once did. He blasts her with salt. She goes away for a while. In the kitchen, Henriksen appears to Dean again, and he tells him how, after they left the station, it wasn't just a quick blast and they all died. He says Lilith tortured everyone in the police station, including the virgin Nancy, who she flayed alive and peeled off her skin piece by piece for 48 minutes. He starts attacking Dean, but Sam comes in just in time to save his ass again, because his ass is very important to Sam in the later Ararkas. But
yeah, in the erotica books.
But they get back. The boys go back to the library, and they do a nice protect mission on Bobby as all the witnesses reappear and start to attack in groups. And just as Meg is about to rip Bobby's heart out, he completes the spell with Dean's help because Dean magically catches the bowl when all the windows open and the wind starts blowing heavy, and all the spirits vanish. We cut to a scene later that night where Castiel shows up in Dean's dream, and he compliments Dean on how they dealt with the witness, but Dean's still pissed off as fuck. He starts demanding answers and why Castiel and the other angels can't help. And Castiel, he tries to say the classic, the Lord works in mysterious ways, but Dean says, if you say mysterious ways, I swear to God, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. Castiel throws up his hands, but he admits to Dean that Lilith cast a spell that released the witnesses. He explains that this is the first of the 66 seals that, if all broken, will release Lucifer himself. And this is why angels have returned to Earth. When Dean starts arguing, saying they didn't come to help them deal with the witnesses, Castiel says that the armies of heaven have bigger concerns. He also says that some of the angels died in a battle that week and that Dean should show him more respect if he doesn't want to be thrown back into hell. He literally says, I pulled you out of the pit, I could throw you back in.
Well, and when he was like, wait, Lucifer's real?
Well, because so far, demons, in the previous episode, a demon told Dean that Lucifer is like a fairy tale, that he's not real. Because no demon, most demons that are alive haven't seen him. Which we'll find out more about that in the future, probably, folks. I don't know. Maybe we will.
Maybe. Probably not, though. I think we'll just jump into like Leviathans or something crazy.
But the next morning, the last thing we see is Dean asks Sam if he believes in the devil. Foreshadowing indeed. But, and this episode, I would honestly give a 4.2.
I'd give it a 4. Wasn't as great. Like all the nostalgia recaps of the last Ghosts and stuff, it was pretty good. But this season's gonna get good. Like this season's gonna get good.
Yeah, it definitely gets good.
I'll kind of miss the seasons 1 through 2 Monster of the Week. Like, not really a mission. Everything's gonna be mission heavy from now on.
There's still Monster of the Week episodes, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, not like the first couple seasons where it's just like brothers fighting monsters.
Yeah, I mean, in a way. I mean, there's monsters, but now they're apocalyptic monsters. And actually, your episode next week is fucking awesome.
I haven't looked yet. I'll be looking forward to it, though.
And actually, my episode next week is a Monster of the Week episode.
Sweet.
So, come check us out next week, folks. And Grimace, if you want to watch us naked, we're perfectly okay with that. It doesn't bother us.
Naked pup.
Well, folks, we'll be back next week to dive into 2 fun episodes from season 4. So come back next week. Have a good one, everybody.
Take it easy, everybody.